man from Benue State, identified as Ishalu Endless, on his Twitter boasted that the food cultivated from his own state, Benue, is enough to feed the whole southern Nigeria amidst tension arising from the threat of blockage of food supply from the north. All of this came as a result of the current tension across the country, ranging from kidnapping, banditry, bombing, killings, destruction, raping, ravaging, invasion of other people's farms, and many of these terrible things that are happening. All of these are coming from the north or connected to some aliens that have infiltrated Nigeria through the north. Now, the present government is pampering these criminals and working against people who are productive, progressive minded, and also attacking people who are saying the truth. Now, these events, terrible events, have triggered move by Southwest to take actions by beefing up security in the region, while the Southeast Eastern Security Network (ESN) was inaugurated by Nnamdi Kanu to help offer security to the people of the region. And when you look at that of the Southwest, a man called Sunday Igboho stood up and he said, enough is enough. I'm not going to sit down and watch my people being kidnapped, raped, ravaged, and all of that. And the reaction to this is the North saying, we are not going to supply food to the South anymore. And the reason why there is no agriculture in the south of Nigeria, I mean, enough agricultural practices in the north of Nigeria, south of Nigeria, it's as a result of the activities of those herdsmen who go into other people's farm, they invade other people's farm, and with this, we do not have that enough to feed the south of Nigeria. So the north, with their own challenges also, bandits collect huge amount of money for them before they harvest, before they sow, and all of that. So with all of this together, you'll see that we are in a deep, deep mess. Now, following the threat of food supply blockage from the north, Ishalu Joseph went on his Twitter handle, like I said earlier. He said, food from my state. Do not forget that Benue State is said to be the basket. So definitely, if other parts of the south of Nigeria come together and they do what they need to do and they put an end to this, I think we'll be able to feed ourselves. We do not need anything from the north, as they have decided to become eminent to every other person. So he said, from my state, Benue is enough to feed the old southerners. Let the north take their food to Niger, take it to Cameroon or Mali. We do not care. From Wednesday, no fuel tanker is going across River Niger to the north. Let's start from there first. And that's the reality. I think this is the best step towards the break of that contraction called Nigeria. I understand it's going to be very difficult, as a lot of people have not prepared for this. It's going to be a little bit, but you have to sacrifice. It's all about your stomach every time. Let there be blockage. No food, no crude oil, no fuel, and all of that. And with this, we'll be able to get back to ourselves. It's so terrible that you depend solely on other people for what you need. It's so wrong. It has to be a symbiotic process, not parasitic. A system whereby each and everybody gives to each other, something like that. So since it's like that, no oil from the south to the north, and the north can keep their food and take it to Niger, Mali, and the rest of that. It is better than being raped, your farms being invaded, and a lot of terrible things happening. Now, being the basket of food basket, as Benue State calls itself, they have rich agricultural produce, including yam, rice, beans, cassava, sweet potato, maize, soya beans, sorghum, millet, sesame, cocoyam, and many others. The state accounts for over 70% of soya bean production. So what are we talking about here? If other people get into farm business and like I said initially, I said, why can't, private citizens and some organization, even secessionist organization come up with a plan to have a kind of pocket, a purse, a bank where money will be loaned out as a community kind of system, help to come about having cows in ranches so that you do not need their cows anymore. And with this, you'll be self-sufficient. Self-sufficient, that's the answer. Now, comments that trailed this, people said, can you imagine only one state in the north is enough to feed the whole 18 states in the south? By that, it's enough for you to know how much the entire north can generate when it comes to food production. The northern Nigeria alone can feed the whole of Africa. The problem is that they are not making use of these things. It's not just making sense. We are supposed to be exporting agricultural products out there. But look at what's going on here. Look at what is going on. Someone said, talk about north. Core north and the middle belt. Maybe you did not understand what the writer wanted to portray. You do not understand what this person is trying to say, and that's the reality. Someone say in Ebonyi State now only maggi and crayfish we they buy for market. Other food items we produce them, we have them already. And someone said, yes, I think this move will also help the South to patronize farming more, get into farming, which will result into price of foodstuff coming down, and at least everybody will have opportunity to be able to feed themselves. Someone say Benue is a basket filled with assorted foodstuff. By the time the North returned from Niger and Cameroon, as it was said, they went to sell their foodstuffs there. We will look on their faces and take a stand. Someone said, where is Benue? Do not deceive yourself. If crisis erupts in the south, Southerners will never differentiate you with the Hausa Fulani. They tag you as fake Christians. That is someone from the north saying this, that you from Benue, you have similarities to us in the north. Don't forget that Benue is a kind of like in the middle, like a buffer between the north and the south. And there is a possibility of intermarriage. It is not about fake Christianity. We are not talking of religion here. We are talking about, or even Islam. We are talking about economy, we're talking about agriculture, survival. That's what we're talking about here. So we are not talking about crisis or using religion. We are talking about humanity. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're whatever it is. If you do not practice humanity, then you will be tagged as animals or even less than that. So it's not about if there is crisis in the south and the people in the south will tag the middle belt, Benue people as fake Christians, and they will no, it's all stupidity. So I'm saying, how could you hand over your brain to your leaders? I pity the Northerners so much for this bad decision. Shebi una still they sell your cow to Southerners for 150k and 300k, pepper, tomatoes, onions, and so on. Let's see how Cameroon and other people will buy it for that amount. I pray it should not be too late for the Northerners to beg us. The youth in the North, wake up. Well, I think it is more better that the South get themselves prepared. Get yourself prepared. It's time for you to begin to do what you need to do. It's time for you to do the needful. It's time for you to begin your own agriculture. You don't have to depend. You don't have to depend. And like I said, the challenge, the problems in the south of Nigeria is that a lot of people don't want to go into agriculture. And the people that went into it, they got raped, they got kidnapped. A lot of terrible things happen. So let them keep their food and keep their cows and keep themselves to the north, to Niger, to Chad, and the rest of those places where those people are willing to accept this their madness and craziness and wickedness and evil, so that we can be able to see for ourselves what are the challenges we have in the south of Nigeria. So people will go into their farms and at least have peace of mind. And aside that, also we deal with our own cancer also, because aside the Fulanis kidnapping, there are still some people in the south who are Southerners. They are not aliens who engage in kidnapping too, but it's not as rampant as that of the atrocities committed by that of the aliens and people from the north. But we will be doing ourselves dishonor. We'll be fooling ourselves, saying it is only them that kidnap. Yes, they do. In fact, they are doing terrible things right now. But the south of Nigeria, we have terrible people. We have wicked people who also kidnap people. So we have to also take all of these things. We have to add all of these things together so as to wipe away in totality, wipe away anyone who is a troublemaker, anyone who is a criminal in our society. So guys, that's just this one for now. The Benue State is saying, look, we'll wake up our agriculture so as to fit, let the north take away whatever it is.